A hint of hesitation appeared in Xiaowei's eyes. Should she say it? But if she said it out loud, what if Linger and the others went to find that Shen Tian? So Xiaowei quickly shook her head. Sorry. My boyfriend and I broke up. So the KTV plans are off. Hearing that, Lang Linger and the others were stunned. Then they all started to comfort her. Lang Linger didn't expect Xiaowei had actually broken up. Since that's the case, let's just randomly find a karaoke place and drink till we drop. Ling Xiao KTV. Shen Qian, his face wrapped in gauze, was drinking alone in silence. At the same time, at the KTV front desk, Lang Linger and the others looked a bit uneasy. On the way to the private room, the others curiously asked Lang Linger, Linger, gee, didn't you say you used to come to these places a lot? When we get to the room, will you know how to pick songs? Lang Linger felt a little flustered, but still pretended to be calm. Of course I do. I'm very familiar with these things. Just tell me what you want to sing, and I'll put it on. After entering the room, what none of them noticed was that around the corner, Shen Qian stepped out of the shadows. Isn't that the girlfriend of that loser Jiangdao? What's she doing here? Shen Qian muttered to himself. Then his gaze turned greedy. Perfect timing. Since I didn't get you at the wedding, then here instead. Meanwhile, I was thinking about which KTV Lang Ling and the others might go to, since I had already intervened in the plot. Then them continuing to sing at the KTV shouldn't lead to the same outcome. I was starting to feel a little unsure. After all, the world has a way of correcting itself. Then an idea suddenly popped into my head. System. How can I find Lang Linger's location? Host. Who is Lang Linger? This system only recognizes Lang Xingku. She is currently home, alone in an empty house. Don't mess around. If something happens to my sister-in-law, my entire Xingku family will definitely be heartbroken. Alright. Locating Lang Linger requires some points. On the other side, everyone was looking at Lang Linger from Japan. Linger, gee, are you still not ready? We've been waiting for a long time now. Lang Linger looked a bit embarrassed. Almost done. Almost done. I'm finishing it up now. The next second, bang. The door was kicked open. Shen Qian barged into the room with a bunch of guys. Yo, pretty girls out for fun? Want Big Bro to join you? Don't be shy. Tonight's on us. Lang Linger and the others were stunned at the sight. They froze instantly. Lang Linger's expression turned extremely annoyed. Get lost. This is our private room. She tugged on Xiaowei's arm as she spoke. Xiaowei, go call security. But what puzzled Lang Linger was, Xiaowei's face turned pale. Her whole body started trembling. Lang Linger called out, Xiaowei? Xiaowei grabbed Lang Linger's hand. Linger, gee, you all should leave. We can't afford to mess with these people. Lang Linger frowned. What are you talking about? Xiaowei, I can take these guys down in a few moves. I'm telling you all to get lost. Otherwise, I can't guarantee those skinny arms and legs of yours will be able to walk out of here in one piece. Shen Qian cracked his knuckles. Alright, guys, let's teach these brats what it means to face the real world. The group charged at Lang Linger and her friends. Lang Linger's group also charged forward fearlessly, but the gap in strength was overwhelming. In just a short moment, everyone except Lang Linger was beaten to the ground. Not long after, Lang Linger, exhausted, was pinned to the ground. Stay here, you brat. Take a good look at how your friend is getting her head smashed open by Brother Tian. Xiaowei was terrified. She rushed in front of Shen Qian. Wait. You can't hurt my friends. Shen Qian shoved Xiaowei aside. Then he raised the wine bottle and aimed it at the girl's head on the ground. He swung it down. Lang Linger struggled desperately. But it was all in vain. Just the next second, the door was kicked open. A voice filled with suppressed anger echoed into Shen Qian's ears. Idiot, immediately followed by a sweeping kick. Shen Qian was sent flying several meters away. Idiot. Is causing trouble all you're good at? You're a complete failure, ruining everything. The person who had charged in kept stomping fiercely on Shen Qian's chest. I was nearly scared to death. Just one more second, and the plot would have returned, and things would definitely have turned out worse than in the original story. By then, Lang Linger might have died. Lang Xingqiyu's personality would have completely changed, cutting off all ties. Everything I worked for these days might have been completely wasted. Shen Qian was left bloodied from the beating. He kept begging for mercy. Help, help. No, please, stop. Shen Qian's friends were all stunned by what they saw. Wait a second, isn't that young Master Jiu? What's he doing here? Didn't he just teach us a lesson this morning? Someone shouted, run. And the rest of them all bolted. Xiao Wei felt a chill run through her entire body. She murmured, Jiu, Jiu? Lang Linger stood up, tidying herself. As soon as he appeared, everyone else's eyes lit up. It's Linger Ji's brother-in-law. Linger, Ji's brother-in-law, came to beat up the bad guys to save them. After Song, Lang Linger, and the others returned to school, they saw Shen Wanner storming toward them. Jiu Heoken, what did you do to my little brother? Lang Linger's eyes became alert. Who are you? Shen Wanner was fuming, her chest heaving. And who are you? I finally understood. Shenner didn't know what had happened, but he believed it was all my fault. Jiu Heoken, fine. You blocked me, so you're switching taste now? Didn't expect that. Shen Wanner didn't finish her words before she saw me staring at her impatiently. So noisy. Shut up. Those cold words left Shen Wanner frozen on the spot. He yelled at me. How could Jiu Heoken treat me like this? Shenner felt like the world had changed overnight. I didn't pay her any mind. Instead, I turned to Lang Linger and the others. You all go first. I still have things to take care of here. Lang Linger nodded. Then brother-in-law, be careful with this woman. And with that, only I was left in the room, along with Shen Wanner and the three people lying on the floor. Shen Wanner had heard Lang Linger just now call me brother-in-law. She called you brother-in-law. Who did you marry? Who is that woman? But in the face of her questions, my reaction left Shenner stunned. My whole demeanor, my expression had turned extremely cold and grim. For Lang Xingqiyu's sake and for my own sake, Shen Wanner must be used to prevent all the tragic plot lines that might come after. This is something I must do. I leaned back on the sofa, gazing at Shen Wanner with an indifferent look. You came just in time. Let's have a talk, then. Shenner didn't expect me to speak to her in such a tone. Shenner clenched her teeth and sat down on the other side of the sofa. Fine, let's talk. And what do you have to say about my brother's injuries? Shenner held back her anger. If Jiu Heoken didn't properly apologize right now, then she would never forgive him for the rest of her life. I originally didn't intend to get involved with Shen Wanner again, but with Lang Linger's plot developing, I realized simply avoiding it wouldn't work. Only by laying groundwork in advance can I prepare for what's to come. So, a plan started to form in my mind. According to the original story, the male lead, Zhao Lin, would meet Shen Wanner later and fall in love with her. Call it love, but he basically became her lovesick puppy. So Shen Wanner became an indispensable part of my plan. Zhao Lin is very powerful. He's the child of the world, after all, which means in every battle, he levels up and breaks through. That's how he keeps getting stronger and beating villains. With such a god-tier cheat, as I am now, would be stupid to provoke him carelessly. But that doesn't mean I'll just sit and do nothing. After activating the system, the shop was filled with all sorts of items. Among them was one that could completely destroy Zhao Lin's cultivation, but using it would be extremely difficult. Honestly, only Shen Wanner could pull it off. She's the only one who could make Zhao Lin let his guard down. With that in mind, I looked at Shen Wanner. I ignored her earlier questions and cut straight to the point. Shen Wanner, I'll be blunt with you. Your Shen family's pharmaceutical company is finished. If you don't want your family to go bankrupt, then, Shen Wanner shouted angrily, in your dreams. I know what you're trying to do. You just want me to be your girlfriend. Don't even think about it. People like you are absolutely despicable, trying to get me through such shameless means. What is she even saying? I looked at Shen Wanner. She just kept rambling on by herself, and in that moment, I saw just how dumb she really was. Seeing my constantly changing expression, Shen Wanner sneered. Ha, I got it right, didn't I? Shen Wanner thought she had exposed my intentions, and that she had made me lose composure. But in truth, she really thought I liked her. So she emphasized again, Ji Haeoken, I know you like me, but my career is on the rise. I can't give it up for love. Shenner crossed her arms slightly, looking at me with arrogance. Ji Haeoken, if you still want to talk to me, then I suggest you drop all those little tricks of yours. Otherwise, double quotes, I calmly interrupted her. Idiot Miss Shen. The room fell silent instantly. Shenner stared at me in disbelief. What did you say? I nearly laughed out loud from how ridiculous she was. But I kept a calm tone and said, honestly, you really have an incredible imagination. It's a shame you didn't become a novelist. Shen Wanner didn't even know how to react at first. What are you laughing at? She couldn't help but stand up, pointing at me and shouting, I'm asking you. What's so funny? Did I say anything wrong? I looked at her coldly. Shenner, I'm laughing at how delusional you are. What made you think a top-tier rich second generation from Jianghai would fall for someone like you? A clueless, foolish woman? Can you be a little more realistic? You have no business sense, no emotional intelligence. What exactly do you think you have that could possibly make me like you? Shenner, stop living in your fantasy world. As I said this, seeing the stunned expression on her face, I added something that truly shocked her. Let me make this clear. Your company is on the verge of collapse. Not only that, but your brother owes me over 20 million yuan. If he can't repay it, he's going to jail. Shenner's face turned pale. You're lying. My company is not going bankrupt. And my brother, she looked behind at Shen Qian, whose eyes were dodging hers. Zhao Jian, what does Ji Haeoken mean by that? When did you owe him money? Shen Qian knew he couldn't hide it any longer, so he could only cry out with a sobbing voice, sis, just accept young Master Jiu, please. Otherwise, your brother will definitely end up in jail. Hearing that, Shen Wanner's mind went completely blank. She trembled as she asked, what did you just say? You really owe that much money? Shen Wanner was stunned. She had thought I was just making things up. Over 20 million, but when Shen Qian didn't deny it, she finally realized I wasn't joking. Sis, I don't want to go to jail. Please, I'm begging you to plead with young Master Jiu. Shenner pointed at Shen Qian, speechless in the end. She could only glare at me in anger. My brother's debt, I'll repay it for him. Is that good enough? Hearing this, I nodded without expression. Send the money to my house within 3 days. After saying that, I turned and started walking out, and seeing me go, Shen Wanner panicked. She cried out instinctively, wait. I didn't stop walking. Changed your mind already? Shenner looked at me with a complicated gaze. Are you really going to treat me like this? Hearing that made me laugh. What did I even do to you? Repaying debt is only right and proper, isn't it? Instead of whining, why not think about how to get the money together? She watched my back as I left, thinking back to when I used to care for her so warmly. Those moments replayed in her mind like scenes from a dream. Tears slowly filled Shen Wanner's eyes. She shouted toward the door, Ji Haeoken. You bastard. What? You're saying Ji Haeoken stayed there with Shenner? Lang Xingqiu's voice rose slightly. He had been waiting at home, pacing back and forth, wondering why I hadn't returned yet. But when Linger finally came back, she said I was talking with Shen Wanner. Wait, why would you be discussing anything at a KTV? What were you doing at the KTV? Lang Linger originally wanted to hide it, but with no other choice, she had to explain everything from start to finish. A few minutes later, Lang Xingqiu's expression turned even colder. Wait until your brother-in-law returns. Lang Linger nodded repeatedly. Okay, sis. After Lang Linger left, Lang Xingqiu's expression grew even more frosty. A surge of endless anger rose in her heart. The Shen family. Shen Qian and his gang of scumbags from the Shen family actually dared to hurt my sister. To Lang Xingqiu, Lang Linger was her most precious person. Lang Xingqiu pressed hard on her restless chest. No, the Shen family has Shen Wan. She was once pursued by Ji Haeoken. If I kill her brother, who knows what trouble it might cause Ji Haeoken? Who knows what trouble this might bring him? For some reason, just thinking about Ji Haeoken being with the Shen family made him feel extremely uncomfortable. It's all Ji Haeoken's fault. You're such a jerk. We just confirmed our relationship this morning. And now you're secretly in a private room with another woman. Lang Xingku couldn't help clenching her fists. What if Ji Haeoken rekindles his old flame with Shen Wanner? Then, what about me? So annoying. Ji Haeoken, hurry back already. Just as Lang Xingku was growing more and more upset, I checked the time and was helplessly stuck in traffic. I had missed the best time for dinner. I hope Xingku isn't starving. No, I have to sincerely apologize when I get back. I believe you won't blame me once I return, right? When I returned to the Lang house as promised, the time was already 1944. When I got back, I saw that Lang Xingku and Lang Linger had already finished cooking, waiting for me. At that moment, I knew I was doomed. The atmosphere at the Lang family dining table was a bit eerie. Lang Xingku ate his food with a cold expression. I frantically explained, Xingku. My dear Xingku, I really wasn't with Shen Wan. I stayed there only to end things once and for all with him. End your past with him? Lang Xingku interrupted my explanation, then sarcastically said, well, I suppose you could put it that way. But that's not the issue. Looks to me like you're trying to rekindle things, not end them. Seeing Lang Xingku turn away, not wanting to talk to me, I had a bad feeling. With no choice, I had to start with something totally unrelated. Thick-skinned, I moved behind Lang Xingku and started giving a massage. Xingku, it's not like that. Listen to me explain. Lang Xingku pretended to resist and shook off my hands. Let go of me. I'm not listening. As I massaged, I kept explaining, Xingku, I only pursued Shen Wan because I was trying to forget you. And during that time, Shen Qiang kept asking me to lend him money. I originally thought I wouldn't even make him pay it back. Hearing this, Lang Xingku interrupted, wait a minute, what? What do you mean you pursued Shen Wan to forget me? Hey, that's not what I meant. Back then, I felt like I wasn't good enough for you, Xingku, so I didn't dare face you. That's why I went to Shen Wan. But now I've realized, I still can't forget about you, Xingku. I just want to be with you properly. The more I talked, the more nonsense I spouted. Lang Xingku's face turned slightly red as she listened. Stop. What nonsense are you saying? Don't change the subject. Keep talking. How much money did you lend that guy named Shen Tian? And why didn't you make him pay it back? Not much, just 20 million. I originally figured I couldn't be bothered to collect it. But then he dared to bully our Linger. That's something I just can't tolerate. Just as I said that, we heard the sound of a spoon dropping onto the floor nearby. I turned my head to look. I saw Linger stunned when she heard 20 million. She stood there in shock. 20 million, brother-in-law. How could you not get it back? Hurry up and get it back from that scumbag. You don't even have to give it to me. Lang Xingku scolded her sharply. Linger, what are you saying? So you stayed there just to collect debt? Did you get the money back? No. Lang Xingku's face was expressionless. Then why did you come back? I was speechless for a moment. But the next second, Lang Xingku smiled. Hee, just teasing you. As long as I know you didn't do anything bad. Seeing that scene, I knew the crisis was over. Xingku, how would I dare do anything bad behind your back? Don't you already know what kind of person I am? Lang Xingku rolled her eyes. Everyone in Jianghai City knows what kind of person young Master Jiu is. Are you saying I'm handsome and upright? Hey, you're really shameless. After dinner, I lay lifelessly on the sofa. Lang Xingku walked out in her bathrobe. Aren't you going home yet? Hearing Lang Xingku's words, I suddenly came back to my senses. It's about time I should be heading home. Then I'll be going now. Lang Xingku nodded. Just nodded, didn't see me off. I wanted to say something, but in the end, I didn't. Forget it. Once the affection level rises, everything will come in time. I walked up to Lang Xingku. Xingku, then I'm really leaving now. I waited a few seconds, but she didn't say anything. So I lifted my foot and prepared to leave, disappointed. Just as I was about to reach the door, Lang Xingku's voice came again. It's so late already. How are you getting home? There's a car parked outside, but I understood what Lang Xingku meant, so I pretended to be pitiful. There's no one at home. My parents went on a trip. None of the staff would support me. No one came to pick me up. Old Gao isn't around today either. I'll see if I can get a taxi back. I sighed and continued walking out. Lang Xingku felt a surge of anger inside. She had long heard that there were many internal conflicts in the Jiyu family, but she didn't expect that no one would listen. Tio Heoken. It seems it's necessary for the two secretly help Heoken. Wait, if that's the case. Just sleep here tonight. I blurted out. Really? I can sleep in the same room as Chingku? As soon as I said that, the whole room went silent for a moment. A moment later, Lang Xingku shouted angrily, "Get out." Then she turned and went upstairs without looking back. After taking a shower, Lang Linger came out hugging a pile of quilts. "You'll sleep in this room?" I asked about the room. Lang Linger snorted. "That's right. It's my parents' room." "What? You're not satisfied? Scumbag, don't you dare sneak into my sister's or my room at night, or I'll call the police on you," I said with disdain. "It's normal to sneak into Qingkuyu's room. But what about you? Little brat, what's there to sneak in for? Just that weird rabbit of yours?" Upon hearing that, Lang Linger's face turned bright red with anger. "You jerk! Asterisk slam asterisk." She slammed the door behind her. My phone began to vibrate slightly. I picked it up to check. It was a file sent by Old Gao. The file was named Zhao Ling. My expression changed. The main character has arrived. Then the plan should begin as well. Meanwhile, in the study, Meizu was kneeling on one knee. "Master," the subordinate learned from his mouth. Back then, a mysterious figure issued the order to massacre the Lang family. Countless forces were involved in the attack. The Death God was just one of the groups involved. As she spoke, Meizu took out a scroll. It recorded the names of the forces that had participated back then. Lang Xingku received the specially made Braille scroll. A few minutes later, Lang Xingku didn't find the term she feared, and finally let out a sigh of relief. "Are there any of those forces in Jianghai City now?" Meizu immediately bowed her head and replied, "Yes." Upon investigation, it turns out that the former base of Dragon King's Hall was in Jianghai, and their young master, Zhao Lin, arrived in Jianghai today. A flash of killing intent appeared in Lang Xingkuyu's eyes. "So you're Dragon King's Hall's young master, Zhao Lin? Now that you're here, don't expect to walk out alive." Lang Xingku thought of this and spoke up. "Look into who in the Jiyu family is trying to harm young Master Jiyu. Silently eliminate them." Inside the room, I opened the file and started reading the information about Zhao Lin. The first line said there are 33 people named Zhao Lin worldwide. Only one Zhao Lin arrived in Jianghai City within the last week. I opened the file on that one Zhao Lin. I clicked into his individual profile. The profile listed his basic information. Zhao Lin, male, 24 years old, arrived in Jianghai City by boat today at 1810. He was born at Jianghai Hospital. His parents died when he was 5. He lived in an orphanage since then, until the age of 14, when Zhao Lin disappeared from the orphanage. All information was lost. That was all the data available, but a faint smile curled up at the corner of my mouth. The less information there is, the more suspicious the person is. I sent Old Gao a message. "I'm focusing on the Zhao Lin who just arrived today. Tell me where he is right now." A few minutes later, Old Gao called me. "Young master, when Zhao Lin arrived in Jianghai City today, he saved a woman who was being harassed by thugs. This woman heard he had just arrived and hadn't found a place to stay, so she lent Zhao Lin the attic of her house to stay in. The address was 7602, Yulin Residential Complex." Hearing that, I suddenly realized, in the original book, Zhao Lin made his debut by saving the second female lead. If I remember correctly, the next day, Zhao Lin went out to look for a job. Then he happened to see a recruitment notice for security at Shenner's company. And thus, the gears of fate began to turn. Yulin Residential Complex. Zhao Lin looked around curiously. Hee, that pretty lady is really nice to me. She even found a place for me to stay. My master was right. Women in the city are the best. Oh right? I think I even have a marriage contract. I think it was with the eldest daughter of the Bai family." Just as he said that, a pleasant voice came from downstairs. "Zhao Lin, aren't you cold? Do you want another blanket?" Zhao Lin grinned like a fool. No, I'm good." This is just right for me. Pretty sister, you should sleep soon. Hearing no response from below, Zhao Lin chuckled happily. Living with a pretty sister. It's like living in a dream. Downstairs, a woman in pajamas sat at the table, gripping hospital bills one after another in her hand. Wang Yulen frowned tightly, her eyes filled with anxiety and unease. She was too exhausted. Her father passed away early, and her mother was seriously injured in a car accident half a year ago. She's been hospitalized since. The daily medical expenses are almost unbearable. Every day is just about making money and repaying debts. It felt like nothing good ever happened. Late at night, kill, diet. I was awakened by faint whispering sounds. What's that noise? With a bit of a headache, I got up from the bed. It sounded like pages flipping. No way. Could it be Chinku? I checked my phone. 2 a.m., I thought to myself, and quietly opened the door. Sure enough, ahead of me, a faint light seeped out from the crack under the study door. A few minutes later, on Lang Qinkuyu's desk, was a book emitting dark black smoke. Her eyes were wide open, revealing pupils etched with mysterious runes. It was as if Lang Qingku could actually read the contents of the book. At that moment, the book flickered slightly. Lang Qinkuyu's expression changed. She closed her eyes and quickly replaced the book with the normal one on the desk. The study door creaked open slightly. I pushed my way in, using my body to hold the door. Qingku, why are you still awake? Lang Qingku replied in a calm tone. Because I don't want to sleep. Nonsense. I can tell right away you're exhausted. Look at your eyes. The dark circles under them look like they've been smoked. I placed the things I brought on the table, then looked at Lang Qingku with pity, seeing her dark circles. Upon hearing this, Lang Qingku fell silent for a while. She couldn't exactly say she had been cultivating an evil technique just now. Even if she did, Jiu Heoken probably wouldn't believe it. After all, he was just an ordinary person and knew nothing about the world of martial artists. Then why are you still awake? She asked. And what did you bring? Lang Qingku seemed to catch a sweet scent in the air. I picked up the bowl on the table and smiled. I made brown sugar ginger tea. Here, let me give you some. Lang Qingku coldly shook her head. You should go sleep. I'm fine. No. I'm staying right here. I'm not leaving until you drink it. It's not good for girls to catch a chill. And you barely ate any dinner either. I scooped a spoonful of brown sugar tea and brought it to Lang Qinkuyu's mouth. Lang Qingku snorted. If I think it tastes bad, then you'd better take it and go back to bed. Hearing that, I couldn't help but smile. Sure enough, Lang Qingku frowned. As if tasting something unfamiliar, I asked expectantly, does it taste good? Lang Qingku said blankly, you added too much sugar. And the heat was too high. It's just okay. No way. I'm a divine chef. My pure love target is happy. 7 out of 10, plus 1 point. I was stunned for a second. She's messing with me again, isn't she? I looked at Lang Qingku, then glanced at the spoon in my hand. And suddenly, I thought of a fun idea. Let me use this spoon to taste the sweetness. Now, it was Lang Qinkuyu's turn to be stunned. Wait, what did he just say? Use that spoon to taste? Lang Qingku reached out her hand to stop me. That spoon was the one she just used. But she couldn't reach me. The sound of someone sipping soup came from behind instead. Sweet, smooth, and fragrant. How could you think such good sugar tea tastes bad? Lang Qingku looked stunned. You really used the spoon I drank from? I pretended to respond with a casual, and it's sweet and clean. Thanks for the treat. Lang Qingku blushed in anger and waved her hand at me. You perverted freak who drinks other people's spit. Go die. I froze. Wait, Qingku, you're serious? Of course, there's nothing more to say to a perverted freak like you. Go die. The next morning, Lang Qingku sat with a cold face, eating breakfast in small bites. I lowered my head awkwardly. Hey, Qingku, don't be mad anymore, okay? I was just a little out of it last night. That's why I did something like that. Suddenly, I asked curiously, Qingku, have you been using any skincare products lately? Lang Qingku looked confused. Skincare products? I never use that kind of stuff. That's strange. Last night your dark circles were super heavy, but this morning, they're completely gone. And when Lang Xingku heard that, she screamed internally, oh no. Last night, I was cultivating a technique. That's why I had those dark circles. But Jiyu Heioken didn't know that. He said in a somewhat panicked tone, I don't know. Don't get so close to me. I'm heading back to the study, Lang Xingku. She closed the door and leaned against it, her hands clenched tightly together. Her expression turned somewhat pained. No, I must be more careful. If Jiyu Heioken finds out my secret, Lang Xingku wouldn't know what to do. Yes, it's her biggest secret, but Jiyu Heioken is just an ordinary person. After dropping Lang Linger off at Jianhai High School, my expression gradually became more subtle. Lao Gao, go to Jianhai Hospital. Yes, young master. Sure enough, Zhao Lin went out this morning to look for a job and saw the security guard recruitment notice from Shenhua Pharmaceutical Company. Even though the company was on the brink of bankruptcy, the world's correction force still led Zhao Lin into the company where Shenhua worked. While driving on the road, not long after, Lao Gao spoke in a low voice, young master, someone is following us, and it's a very formidable person, as one of the few grandmasters in the world. Even though the other party was well hidden, Lao Gao could still sense it. I nodded nonchalantly. I know, just ignore him. Lao Gao was slightly stunned. He looked at me through the rearview mirror and saw my completely unconcerned expression. Then he retracted his gaze, a bit surprised inside. The young master could sense it. Even I could barely detect that concealed aura. Yet the young master said he knew? The young master is not an ordinary person. I instantly guessed the identity of the pursuer. Most likely, it was Lang Xingkuyu's subordinate, Meizu. In the original book, she had always been Lang Xingkuyu's capable general. Of course, her ending was tragic. First, the younger brother she had been looking for was killed. Then she was found by the protagonist, Zhao Lin. The method to counter the shadow technique. Then kill. But what I didn't expect was that the other person was already by Lang Xingkuyu's side. But in the original book, it was mentioned that all members of the Baishuxian World Case Unit, only recognized by Shou, only recognized by SHOU. Wait a second. In my mind, I recalled Lang Xingkuyu's recent state dark circles. Yeah, by Shou. No bloodshot eyes, no way. No way. I took a deep breath. Even in the book, it never mentioned how Lang Xingku trained. So I always thought that the current Lang Xingku was very weak. But now it seems Lang Xingku has already inherited the organization. So she's already started training. It suddenly dawned on me, just thinking about Lang Xingkuyu's evasive look. Made it kind of funny to me. Haha, so that's how it is. In the president's office at Chania Pharmaceuticals. Mom, I know. I'll fix it quickly, Dad. How can I possibly beg Jiyu Heioken? What? You say you already know everything about Zhao Ocean? Shen Wanner hung up the phone with a weary look. Why is it like this? Everything was just as Jiyu Heioken had said. Their company was about to go bankrupt. Some internal staff may have already caught wind of it. So they all gathered under the company building to protest and cause trouble. But Shenger really had no way out. He didn't have the money to pay the employees' wages. For some reason, for the first time, Shenger felt a wave of frustration and a sense of giving up. For a moment, tears silently trickled down from Shenger's eyes. And just then, President Shen, all the troublemakers, were driven off by the new security guards. Are you okay? Shen Wanner wiped her tears and forced a smile. I'm fine. Come in. The next second, Zhongshin walked in. Zhongshin. What did you just say? The people gathered downstairs at the company have all been driven away. Who did it? Zhongshin's eyes lit up when she heard that. President Shen, it was a newly recruited security guard. He seems to have some training. In just a few moves, he knocked down all the ringleaders causing trouble. His name is Zhao Lin. He just arrived in Jianghai City. He's eager to find a job. That's why he came to us. Upon hearing this, Shenger also showed curiosity about Zhao Lin. Where is he? Bring him to see me. Zhongshin left. Shen Wanner finally breathed a sigh of relief. If this Zhao Lin guy is truly capable, then she won't have to worry about that crowd. storming into the office anymore. But this isn't a long-term solution. Moreover, Ji Haoken's 3-day deadline is almost up. Jianghai Hospital. Wang Yulan rushed to the front desk. I'm here to visit the patient in room 302. Wang Yulan felt a bit frustrated. She was late today because her part-time job delayed her. That's why she arrived a bit late. Nurse Wenyan checked the system and looked. Are you Wang Lan's family? Someone is already inside visiting. Wang Yulan was startled. Someone's already inside visiting. Who is it? Do they have a name? Wang Yulan asked anxiously. The nurse replied, I don't know the name, but it's a man. He said he was Wang Lan's student. Student. Wang Yulan thanked her repeatedly. All right, thank you. Then she ran toward the patient room. In front of room 302, Wang Yulan had just reached the door when she heard a voice from inside. Gentle and choked with emotion. Teacher Wang, I've come to see you. I've been overseas all this time. I only found out this year that you were in a car accident. Just as I choked up while speaking, Wang Yulan's eyes turned slightly red. She pressed her lips together and pushed the door open. At that moment, I acted as if I had just noticed Wang Yulan arriving. I lifted my head and was stunned for a moment upon seeing Wang Yulan. Then, as if coming to my senses, I quickly wiped away my tears with my arm. Hello. I didn't know someone would be visiting Teacher Wang today. Since you're here, I'll take my leave. But, just as I was about to walk past Wang Yulan and leave, Wang Yulan reached out and held me back. Please wait a moment. The corners of my mouth lifted slightly. Haha, it worked. I looked at Wang Yulan with some sadness. What is it, miss? Are you really my mother's student? Wang Yulan hadn't expected that after so long. One of her mother's former students would come to visit her. If her mother were awake, she would definitely be comforted. My expression shifted from sadness to mild shock. Since Teacher Wang is your mother, then you must be Wang Yulan, right? As soon as I said that, Wang Yulan's heart trembled. How do you know that? I looked sadly at the unconscious Wang Lan. Back then, Teacher Wang often told us how outstanding her daughter Wang Yulan was. So smart, kind, and filial. It's a pity I came to visit Teacher Wang so late. I'm truly sorry. After I said that, Wang Yulan's heart suddenly ached. She burst into tears. I reached out to hug Wang Yulan. I'm sorry. Really, I'm sorry. My voice was full of apology and sincerity. Wang Yulan didn't resist. She cried even harder in my arms. It's okay. Thank you. It's really okay. What Wang Yulan didn't notice was my sad expression gradually disappeared, replaced by a calm and indifferent look. Yuan Shun've known too, because of her mother's death, and the care and comfort from Xiaolin. That's why she completely fell in love with Xiaolin, and became extremely possessive of him. At the final moments of Yuan Shuzhong, it was because he used his own power and trapped himself that the Xiaolin in the original story was able to break through the bottleneck and reach the peak of Grandmaster level. Therefore, Ling Xingku had no choice but to perish together with Xiaolin. You could say that Wang Yulan was also a very crucial character. In order to achieve this goal, I must use any means necessary. After Wang Yulan finished crying and venting, she felt a bit embarrassed. I looked at Wang Yulan and sighed softly. When did this happen? Upon hearing this, Wang Yulan's expression darkened. It was half a year ago. My mother was riding her bicycle home as usual, and while crossing the street, she was suddenly hit by a car that ran a red light. My mother lost consciousness on the spot. Fortunately, the emergency treatment was timely, and her life was saved, but the doctors said she would never wake up again, and she would need constant treatment every day just to stay alive. 2 months ago, the doctors advised me to give up, but she's my mother. As long as there's a chance, I will keep trying. Wang Yulan couldn't hold back her tears again. She didn't mention how expensive the daily treatments were. So expensive that even with 4 jobs a day, she still couldn't afford them. Even though Wang Yulan noticed I was wealthy, she still didn't say anything. After all, she had already borrowed from everyone she could. Relatives and friends had long treated her like the plague. She didn't want this student, the only one who still remembered her mother, to stop coming as well. Before leaving, Wang Yulan had already calmed down emotionally. She thanked me and said, "Thank you for remembering my mother." "Thank you, Ji Heoken." I waved my hand. "It's nothing, Sister Yulan. If there's anything you need, just let me know." Because ever since I was in school, I had always deeply respected teacher Wang Lan. Wang Yulan naturally wouldn't want to trouble me. She shook her head. "It's okay. I can handle it on my own." I nodded. "All right. In that case, I'll take my leave first." When I got downstairs, I looked up at the discharge department. Then I picked up my phone and made a call. "Hello? Is this Director Pu? There's a patient in room 302 at our hospital named Wang. Wang Lan, waive all of her medical expenses from me. Oh, and make sure to write down that someone already paid for it." I hung up the phone. The corners of my mouth lifted slightly. Good. The plan has officially begun. Zhao Lin, I truly look forward to formally meeting you. Payment window in patient department. Wang Yulan looked shocked. "What? You're saying the medical expenses I owed before have all been paid?" The nurse nodded with a smile. "That's right, Ms. Wang. The system shows your expenses were fully settled 2 hours ago. All of them." Wang Yulan's tone became a little emotional. "Is it possible to know who paid the bill?" The nurse shook her head. "I'm really sorry, Ms. Wang. I wasn't the one at the window earlier, so I don't know who came to settle the bill. And generally speaking, we don't keep records of other people's personal information. Speaking of which," the nurse suddenly added, "Oh, right? That kind person also deposited $2 million into your mother's account. Ms. Wang, are you okay?" Wang Yulan held back her overwhelming emotions and walked out of the hospital. Hospital upper floor. I stood emotionlessly in front of a floor-to-ceiling window, watching Wang Yulan's rare, relaxed smile. "Happy. You'll have an even happier time ahead. Just think of it as compensation for the original storyline I took from you." I then picked up my phone and made another call. "Begin the operation as planned." Old Gao looked at me with a strange expression. "Young master, is that person named Wang Lan really your teacher?" Others may not know, but how could Old Gao, my personal bodyguard, not know? I gave him a look that said, "Are you an idiot?" That expression, how could it possibly be true? That name, Wang Lan, I only learned it today from the patient list at the hospital. Don't ask so much, Lao Bao, just focus on driving and getting ready for tonight's show. After I said that, the corners of my mouth lifted slightly, as if I was thinking about the fun things coming tonight. Outside the convenience store that night, a few men in a van were watching through the window. Observing the situation at the store, Wang Yulan walked out with a cheerful mood, heading toward the hospital. The sky gradually darkened. Wang Yulan walked along a path she always took, completely unaware. She just didn't understand why it was so quiet and deserted today. Suddenly, a few figures emerged from behind a big tree. Wang Yulan's expression changed instantly. "Who are you? What do you want?" The masked man in front spoke words that made her face turn pale. "What do I want? That day, the guy with you injured one of my brothers. He's still lying in the ICU. So, what do you think I want to do?" As he spoke, the masked man pulled a fruit knife from his waist. Wang Yulan said, trembling, "But that day it was your people who were harassing, teasing Jiaolin. He was just standing up for me." Before she could finish, the leader shouted, "Shut up. Who cares about that?" Wang Yulan was startled. She didn't dare mention that incident again. "Aren't you afraid of the police?" The leader sneered. "The entire park is densely packed with trees. Even if we kill you and dump your body, no one will ever find it. Get her." Upon seeing the scene, Wang Yulan didn't know where she got the courage from. Without thinking, she ran deep into the woods. Why is this happening? Wang Yulan hadn't run far before she started tasting blood in her mouth. Years of staying up late working, malnutrition, had already caused her physical condition to deteriorate. Meanwhile, at the park entrance and exit, some park staff members were apologizing for the blocked access. Sorry. The park is undergoing temporary maintenance and equipment replacement today. Everything will be back to normal tomorrow. Please bear with us." But someone sharp-eyed questioned, "Hey? Why was that person allowed in?" Upon hearing this, A staff member chuckled kindly. That person is from the park's development company. Back with Wang Yulan, she hid behind a large tree, then took out her phone to call the police. But what happened next stunned her. There is no signal in your current service area. You know, even official emergency numbers can be dialed without a phone signal. If you still can't get through, that means even the nearby SIGNAL towers are gone. You're in a completely uninhabited zone. How could this just as she thought that? A fruit knife stabbed into the tree she was leaning on. Found you. Wang Yulan broke down. Let me go. Let me go. Don't kill me. More masked men appeared, and they quickly pinned her to the ground. Running fast won't help you. Wang Yulan looked desperate. Don't kill me. But the masked men mocked her as if they didn't hear her. Hey. Next time, open your eyes wider. Don't mess with the wrong people. Then, he gripped the fruit knife and moved toward Wang Yulan's face. Wang Yulan closed her eyes in fear. A cold, angry voice sounded in Wang Yulan's ears. Let him go. Next came the masked men's angry curses and the sound of fighting. It only lasted a few minutes at most. The masked men, frightened, panicked and yelled, "You remember this? I will definitely come back for you. Yulanji, are you okay?" Wang Yulan slowly opened her eyes. Jiu Heoken, why are you here? I nodded with a worried expression. It's me. I had just visited Teacher Wang and was on my way back when I suddenly heard screaming from the woods. So I rushed over immediately. You chased away all those bad guys, right? I've had some training before, so I can at least handle a few thugs. Hearing this, Wang Yulan burst into tears. She suddenly threw herself into my arms, sobbed. I was so scared. Life had just started to get better, but I was so scared. I gently comforted Wang Yulan as she leaned on my chest. It's okay now. It's all over. Yulanji, who were those people? Why were they after you? Wang Yulan choked out. It's something that happened before not long ago. After hearing the whole story, I said angrily, this is too much. Don't worry, Yulanji. I'm going to report this to the police right away. Those people must be brought to justice. Half an hour later, after visiting Wang Yulan's mother, I offered to take Wang Yulan home. Sitting in the back seat of a luxury car, Wang Yulan looked a bit uneasy. She had never sat in such an expensive car before. A strange sense of inferiority welled up inside her. Noticing this, I comforted her. Don't be nervous. Yulanji, your teacher Wang's daughter. That makes you my sister. If you ever have any problems, you can come to me. Take a nap for now. I'll wake you when we arrive. Wang Yulan relaxed. After she fell asleep, my originally gentle and warm expression slowly faded. Haha, the plan went so smoothly. That night, at Wang Yulan's home, Zhao Lin had a silly smile on his face. Goddess. You're so beautiful. I didn't expect my boss to be this stunning. Right. Why isn't beautiful sis back yet? At that moment, Zhao Lin seemed to sense something. He quickly walked over to the window and looked outside. What he didn't expect was his beautiful sister was getting out of a luxury car, and she was being helped out by a man. Zhao Lin felt as if he'd just swallowed a fly covered in poop. Disgusted. Chi. Just an ordinary guy. After finding out that the man was just average, Zhao Lin suddenly felt better about himself. Just an average guy. How could he compare with a genius like me? He's just a little good looking and has some money. How could he compete with me for my beauty sis? Downstairs, I gently helped Wang Yulan out of the car. Wang Yulan turned away shyly. Thank you for today. I shook my head. It's nothing. Actually, it's a good thing I got there in time. Wang Yulan pursed her lips. Drive slower on your way back, okay? Her face turned red, and she quickly headed into the house. Anyway, see you next time. I waved. See you tomorrow. Just as I looked up, I saw Uncle Yuan. The male lead, Zhao Lin. Haha, Zhao Lin. So this is our first official meeting, huh? Just wait. You're going to live a life completely different from Yuan Shu's. My expression turned calm and composed. Raising Yuan Shu, the second female lead as affection, is surprisingly easy. What a fool. But judging by the timing, the event from the original story should happen soon. By then, that would be the moment I completely conquer Wang Yulan. I looked at my reflection in the window glass. I don't know why, but doing these things doesn't seem to make me feel any guilt anymore. I kissed her and said, "Chinku, I really miss you." The next second, a dagger was placed against my neck. "Shut up," said Mixu, who had been following me all day. She had originally held herself back from confronting me, but I shamelessly flirted with another woman, and even had the audacity to say I miss Lang Chinku. Isn't that a betrayal of your master? Hey, finally showed yourself. I gave a mysterious smirk. Meanwhile, when Wang Yulan returned home with mixed feelings, Zhao Lin's jealous voice called out, "Beautiful sister." Who was that man? Wang Yulan calmly replied, "He's one of my mom's students. He came to visit her today." Wang Yulan didn't mention how she had almost been killed by a group of thugs earlier. Then, you don't have any relationship with him, right? Beautiful sis, you're so gorgeous. He must have a motive for getting close to you. Hearing Zhao Lin's words, Wang Yulan was momentarily stunned. Was he bad-mouthing Jiu Heoken? She frowned slightly. Zhao Lin, what are you talking about? Jiu Heoken is my mother's student. What kind of relationship would I have with him? For a moment, she felt utterly disappointed in Zhao Lin. She brushed past him and returned to her bedroom. Zhao Lin stood frozen, staring at her sudden coldness. Did I say something wrong? Zhao Lin was stunned. That man really made me uncomfortable. My instincts can't be wrong. That man is definitely not a good person. As for me, I showed no sign of panic. Oh miss, is that so? I don't recall ever offending you. When Yin Mixu stared at me intently, there wasn't any trace of spiritual energy from him. He's clearly just an ordinary person. So, why is he so calm? Could he be faking it? I really don't know what my master sees in him. Thinking that, Mixu pressed a little harder, making me clearly feel the tip of the blade and the cold touch against my neck. Enough talk. I just simply don't like you. That's why I came to kill you. You can only blame your bad luck. I could feel a sharp pain on my neck. But I wasn't flustered at all. Is that so? Because I thought, Miss Mixu, you came to ask me about your brother's whereabouts. As soon as I said that, Mixu's heart skipped a beat. Her expression turned extremely shocked. The dagger instantly turned into black smoke and vanished. What did you say? You know where my brother is? Seeing Mixu's panicked yet excited look, I smiled faintly. Miss Mixu, you really are beautiful. Your brother often talked to me about you. What a pity, I sighed softly. You've been gone for quite a long time. Even changed your name to something like Mixu. Upon hearing how familiar I sounded with her brother, hope lit up in Mixu's eyes. Tell me, where is my brother? Although I smiled on the surface, a chill quietly rose inside me. Even in the original novel, Mixu was always an unstable factor. Because the brother she's been searching for was actually a member of the protagonist's team, and the protagonist's silver tongue is strong. Mixu, swayed by their words and her brother's position, grew confused. She ended up betraying Lang Qingku. She revealed Qingkuyu's plans and all of our intelligence to Zhao Lin and the others. It wasn't until Lang Qingku sent someone to kill Mixu's brother that she, overwhelmed by grief, completely fell and became Lang Qingkuyu's killing tool. In the end, she was killed by the combined efforts of the protagonist team. Overall, she was actually a hidden time bomb. In the early and mid stages, she was indeed Lang Qingkuyu's most effective tool, a loyal subordinate, but later, she caused Lang Qingkuyu's trap to be dismantled from within. I calmly shook my head. Sorry, Ms. May. I can't tell you anything about your brother right now. Mixu gritted her teeth. What did you say? Do you believe I won't kill you? But I frowned. Miss May, your brother is still of school age, and you're covered in blood from countless murders. Do you really think it's appropriate to show up in front of him now? Hearing my words, Mixu's heart tightened. She looked up and stared at me with a puzzled expression. How do you know about him? He's never appeared in front of me before. But I still know his name. So the calmness he showed wasn't an act after all. Could it be that his appearance and what he said about her brother were all premeditated? Miss Mixu. How I know about you, does that really matter? I gave a slight smile. I know far more than you could possibly imagine. Mixu fell silent. She stared hard at me, trying to see something from my expression. But no matter how she looked, I was just an ordinary person. Her master would never reveal anything about them. So, how did this man in front of her know? Mixu was overwhelmed with confusion and frustration. This man was even more dangerous than her master had imagined. I suddenly said, "That look in your eyes, are you thinking? This guy seems really dangerous. Should I just kill him and eliminate the threat completely? But don't even think about it. Because you want to know where your brother is, don't you?" Damn it, Mixu clenched her teeth tightly. This guy is very dangerous. What are his intentions for getting close to the master? I should have killed him right here. When will you tell me where my brother is? Mixu asked in a low voice. As long as he tells her, she kill him the moment she gets the chance. I shook my head. Let me think. If you're that capable, then how about this? I raised 5 fingers and smiled slightly at Mixu. Do 5 tasks for me, and I'll tell you everything about your brother's whereabouts. How about it? Of course, I won't ask you to do anything that harms your organization. Hearing that, Mixu was silent for a while. 5 tasks? So he's interested in my strength. Does he want me to kill someone? Mixu nodded. Fine. I hope you keep your word. I smiled on the surface, but naturally, Mixu had already left the car. A mysterious expression flashed in my eyes. As Lang Xingqui's most trusted subordinate, Mixu knows far too much. To avoid repeating the plot from the original novel, I must take precautions against her in advance. Though the method may be a bit cruel, I hope Miss May won't break down crying and screaming when the time comes. Lang family study room. At that moment, the atmosphere was a little strange. Lang Xingqu was sitting at her desk. Mixu's expression was very complicated. She had just seen her master personally walk me out. The way the two of us interacted made her feel very conflicted, especially since she knew that earlier today I was being all nice with another woman. Should she tell her master about that or not? She was sure, if her master found out, the first thing he'd do is send her to kill me. But if so, he wouldn't be able to get any news about his brother. Lang Xingqu spoke up. To Mixu, was Jiyu Heoken with someone today? Someone named Wang Yulan? Mixu's heart trembled. How did the master find out? Mixu braced herself and whispered. Yes, Jiyu Heoken. What were he and that woman doing? Lang Xingqu asked nervously. It's not that he didn't trust me. It's just that kind of anxious mindset. Mixu fell silent, torn with inner conflict. Should she say that Jiyu Heoken was being affectionate with that woman? Was the master testing her loyalty? But if she told the truth, Jiyu Heoken would be doomed. Mixu decided to take a gamble. Master, Jiyu Heoken went to Jianghai Hospital to visit Wang Yulan's mother. During that time, he sent his butler to pick up Miss Linger, then returned in the evening to visit again. After Mixu finished speaking, her body trembled slightly. She wasn't lying, but she left out many details. Lang Xingqu didn't lie either. Mixu kept her head down, not daring to speak. Lang Xingqu didn't expect Mixu's story would match his own. He moved past the topic. Fine. Any progress regarding the Dragon King Hall? How strong is that so-called young lord of the Dragon King Hall? He quickly replied, Master. Zhao Lin is currently working as a security guard at Tianye Pharma. Tianye Pharma is about to go bankrupt. So many people are causing trouble at the company entrance. I've already sent someone to stir things up tomorrow morning and use the chaos as cover to probe the opponent. Upon hearing this, Lang Xingqu nodded. But why does Tianye Pharma sound so familiar? Whose company is Tianye Pharma? Master, It's owned by the Shen family. Currently, it's managed by Miss Shen Wanner of the Shen family. Upon hearing that name, Lang Xinquiyu's expression turned extremely cold. Leave now. Early the next morning, at Wang Yulin's house, Wang Yulin's attitude toward Zhao Lin in the morning softened a bit. Zhao Lin also grinned cheekily. Beautiful sister, are you going to work again today? Do you want me to take you? My boss gave me a little electric scooter. Wang Yulan hesitated a bit and asked Zhao Lin, if you take me, won't you be late for work? Today should be your second day, right? Hearing this, Zhao Lin quickly replied with a smile, no. My boss is really nice. Hearing that, Wang Yulan nodded in agreement. Downstairs of the apartment, Zhao Lin chatted while walking. Beautiful sister, let me tell you, my boss is such a beauty. And very kind. On my first day of work, because I helped her deal with some troublesome people, she really values me now. At first, Wang Yulan didn't think much of it. But then, when she heard Zhao Lin say things like troublemakers and causing trouble, she started to feel a bit uneasy. People are all equal. There are reasons behind every conflict. Why call them troublemakers? Just when she was about to change the subject, she suddenly noticed Wang Yulin's expression. It became more refined. What's going on? Zhao Lin froze. He followed Wang Yulin's gaze and saw a luxury car parked at the entrance. A stunningly handsome and graceful man stepped out. Good morning, Sister Yulan, he greeted. Wang Yulan walked past Zhao Lin and came up to me. Looking somewhat happy, she asked with pleasant surprise, why are you here? I shrugged and said casually, I remember you said, Sister Yulan, that your part-time job is quite far from your home, and I happen to be free this morning, so I came to give you a ride. Wang Yulan smiled and asked, are you serious? You even came all the way here. Have you had breakfast? Not yet. I was afraid I'd miss you, Sister Yulan. Wang Yulan suddenly remembered something. She took out a wrapped rice ball and handed it to me. I took the rice ball and jokingly asked, did you make this rice ball yourself, Sister Yulan? Hearing this, Wang Yulan looked a little embarrassed. Yes, you don't like how I made it, so you don't want to eat it. Haha, how could that be? I pretended to ask curiously. Sister Yulan, who is this behind you? Zhao Lin had been silently standing behind us from the beginning. His expression turned grim the moment I appeared. Damn rich guy. Wang Yulan heard my question, and only then remembered Zhao Lin was behind her. Oh, this is a friend who helped me before. Since it was his first time in Jianghai and he had no place to stay, I let him stay in the attic of my house. Meanwhile, Zhao Lin, hearing Wang Yulan explain so much, felt even more annoyed with me. Even before she could introduce him, Zhao Lin stepped forward. I'm Zhao Lin. I glanced at the male lead from the original novel and found it kind of funny. Just as impulsive and irritable as in the book. If it weren't for the protagonist Halo, he'd have died under Lang Xinquiyu's hand countless times already. Wang Yulan noticed Zhao Lin's off attitude. Zhao Lin, what are you doing? I reached out to Zhao Lin. Nice to meet you, Zhao Lin. I'm Jiyu Heoken. Since you're Sister Yulin's friend, then you're my friend too. Seeing this moment, Wang Yulan felt relieved. Zhao Lin looked up at me. Even though he had a smile on his face, his expression said otherwise. But he, who has long fought fierce beasts in the mountains, could clearly sense that. Behind my smiling expression, I was hiding something more dangerous than those beasts of the world, even holier than saints, yet more wicked. This man is very dangerous. That's how Zhao Lin evaluated me. He believed my intentions toward Wang Yulan were definitely not pure. Zhao Lin also reached out his hand and grasped mine. You're Guo Heoken, right? I don't intend to be friends with you, but I advise you to take those little thoughts and stay far away from Yulan. I was very surprised. What are you talking about? My so-called little thoughts? I looked toward Wang Yulan, whose face also didn't look good. Sister Yulan, has your friend misunderstood something? Should I explain it? Wang Yulan shook her head. Zhao Lin, Guo Heoken is my mother's student. How could he possibly have any ulterior motives? What you're saying is extremely disrespectful. Zhao Lin, I want you to apologize. Apologize to this man. Hearing Wang Yulin's words, a surge of anger rushed into Zhao Lin's chest. Using such acting skills to deceive Sister Yulan? Fine, fine. If that's the case, then I'll make you suffer a little. Thinking this, Zhao Lin tightened his grip on my hand. He kept squeezing harder, but on my side, I felt some kind of energy resisting, blocking that pressure. So, I didn't really feel anything, but I pretended to be in pain. Brother Zhao Lin, let go quickly. You're gripping way too hard. My face turned pale, but Zhao Lin still didn't let go. And when Zhao Lin saw how pitiful I looked, the frustration in his heart vanished completely. Ha ha ha, ordinary people should act like ordinary people. At the same time, Wang Yulan shouted angrily, Zhao Lin, let go of him right now. Are you trying to kill Guo Heoken? Hearing that, Zhao Lin quickly let go. He realized he went too far. After all, Guo Heoken is just an ordinary person. With that grip, he likely fractured the guy's hand bones. But seeing Wang Yulan protect me like that, he grew even more upset and said, Sister Yulan, stop standing up for him. This man named Guo Heoken is just a scumbag. That rotten smell of a bad guy on him makes me want to throw up. Asterisk smack asterisk. The sound stopped abruptly. Zhao Lin felt a burning pain on his cheek. What just happened? I got slapped. He looked at Wang Yulan in disbelief. Wang Yulan's eyes were red with tears. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Zhao Lin, you've gone too far. I never thought you were this kind of person. I really misjudged you. I'm grateful that you saved me before. But I can't let you insult my mother's student like this. Zhao Lin was about to explain something, but out of the corner of his eye, he saw my expression. I was wearing a wicked, mocking smile. That look full of undisguised sarcasm and smugness. In an instant, Zhao Lin was blinded by rage. You hypocritical bastard. Get away from Yulan. He swung his fist and charged toward me. Wang Yulan, seeing this, screamed in fright. Zhao Lin, what are you doing? Without thinking, Wang Yulan jumped in front of me. Zhao Lin's fist landed on Wang Yulan. Zhao Lin's face went pale. Why you and? Why? Zhao Lin trembled, trying to check on Wang Yulan's injury. But asterisk smack asterisk, I slapped away Zhao Lin's hand. Look at what you've done. You bastard. I didn't expect someone as disgusting as you to be around Sister Yulan. Sister Yulan, are you alright? Wang Yulan spoke with deep disappointment. Zhao Lin, move out of my house today. I can't let someone like you stay in my home. Wang Yulan's fondness for Zhao Lin completely vanished in that moment. She was utterly disappointed in him. That punch was no different from attempted murder. It was lucky it hit me instead. I helped Wang Yulan into the car. Sister Yulan, I'll take you to the hospital. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. Zhao Lin was stunned. He reached out trying to explain something, but Wang Yulan had already gotten in the car with me. Zhao Lin mumbled, what did I even do wrong? From the shadows, Meizu watched the whole thing, frowning. This is the future heir of the Dragon King Hall. And he's shaken this badly. All because of a woman? In a luxury ward at Jianghai Hospital, Wang Yulan slowly opened her eyes. Where am I? I looked at her worriedly. Are you feeling better? Seeing this, Wang Yulan felt the warmth in her heart. I'm okay. I'm sorry. I didn't expect Zhao Lin to be that kind of person. I shook my head. It's alright. Let me tell you. After you were attacked by that dangerous man, you passed out in the car. Luckily, that scumbag Zhao Lin held back in the end. Otherwise, but don't worry, Sister Yulan, I've already called the police. The police will arrest that scumbag. He'll get the punishment he deserves. Police? Wang Yulan was stunned. Right? We still have the law. People like that must not be allowed to roam free. Also, I spoke with a strong tone, trying to reassure her. It's okay. I've already informed your workplace. You just focus on resting for the next few days. But Wang Yulan shook her head. No, staying here is really expensive. I already feel much better. I want to handle the discharge procedures. She tried to sit up. But as soon as she moved, the pain from her injury flared up. The intense pain made her face turn pale. I quickly held her down. Sister Yulan, don't move. Money isn't the issue. Right now, Your top priority is to rest. Wang Yulan tried to sit up again, wanting to say she didn't have that much money, and that she didn't want me to spend on her. Seeing this, I smiled helplessly. All right. In that case, Sister Yulan, just consider it a loan from me. Okay, you can slowly pay me back after you've made some money. Wang Yulan looked into my sincere eyes. After hearing that, she felt she couldn't refuse any longer. So she nodded, okay. I smiled at her and said, all right then, Sister Yulan, rest well and recover. I'll head out for now. Wang Yulan nodded. Go take care of things. I'll be fine here. I left the hospital room and started thinking about my next step. Wang Yulan's affection level must be at its bottleneck now. A dead end. To take it a step further, I'll have to wait for the next plot event. Before that, I need to go find another female lead who will help the protagonist Jialin. With that in mind, I took out my phone and dialed. Hello? Is this Uncle Chun? Yes, here's the thing. This morning, at the entrance of Yulin community, there was a serious assault incident. One of my friends was beaten and hospitalized by someone named Jialin. The injuries were severe. He should be caught soon, right? Okay, thank you. Uncle Chun hung up the phone. I hummed a tune and got back into the luxury car. The engine started, and out of the corner of my eye, I caught sight of something. It was a rice ball. I chuckled, not sure what I was thinking. Then, as I drove past a trash can, I casually tossed the rice ball into it. I don't eat rice balls. Outside Chanye Pharmaceuticals, a crowd of employees were once again protesting as usual. Give us our hard-earned money. Chanye Pharmatech is cheating us. Inside the security room, Zhangxin looked anxiously at the dazed Jialin. Jialin, hurry and go out there. They've already surrounded the place. Why is this happening? Jialin was still in a state of withdrawal. Damn it, it's all that man's fault. A trace of murderous intent flashed in Jialin's eyes. Zhangxin stomped her foot in anger and cursed, bastard, I'll get President Shen to deal with you. Just then, while the crowd was still protesting, several strange-looking figures quietly blended into the crowd. Meizu stood watching the scene at Chanye Pharma's front gate. Sending these people should be enough, right? But in the very next moment, a mocking voice suddenly sounded in her ear. You're really going to test Jialin's limits with these weaklings? Meizu was startled. She quickly pulled out a dagger and thrust it toward the voice. Jiu Heoken. I smiled and nodded. Based on the original story, the first conflict between Lang Qingku and Jialin was when Jialin became a security guard at Chanye Pharmaceutical Tech, so naturally, I had to come and watch. Meizu said coldly, next time, don't sneak up beside me like that. I might not hold back and stab you next time. Haha, sorry, but I didn't expect. Miss Mei wouldn't sense a normal person like me approaching. She didn't sense me coming. Now that's interesting. Could it be a result of the cosmic pure love technique? When Meizu heard that, she naturally felt quite upset. You'd better be just an ordinary person. There was a commotion at the entrance. I said, everyone, stop just protesting here. If we don't storm the office, talking face-to-face with the orphan is useless. As soon as that was said, the crowd surged forward. Oh, I chuckled and shook my head. You're testing me by sending a bunch of trash. Do you look down on the Dragon King's heir that much? That won't reveal anything about my limits. As soon as that was said, Meizu's eyes twitched sharply. Cold sweat dripped down her back. Jiu Heoken knows his capabilities. He even knows that Jialin is from the Dragon King's Hall. If before this, Meizu thought I was just someone who knew a bit about things, now he completely changed his mind. Jiu Heoken is definitely not simple. She might even be stronger than her. After all, the biggest reason Meizu couldn't figure out Jiu Heoken's strength is because he's either an ordinary man or he's more powerful than Meizu. Stronger than him. Doesn't that mean his cultivation level must be? As soon as Meizu thought of this, her heart was shaken. Then the reason why he approached my master is even more suspicious. Meizu didn't believe that someone with such strength would approach her master purely out of affection, that it was really out of love. Meizu tried her best to stay calm. So according to you, what should I do? I smiled slightly. It's simple. You use your authority. Meizu frowned slightly. Me. Use my power just for the heir of Dragon King's Hall. I actually have to make a move myself. And even use authority. My expression gradually turned serious. Exactly. Don't think I'm joking. Zhao Lin's strength is that of a grandmaster. As soon as that was said, Meizu's mind went completely blank. Zhao Lin's strength is actually at the grandmaster level. How is that possible? You have to know. There are martial artists in this world. In this world, very few people can become martial artists. Those at the grandmaster level, there are probably fewer than 10 in all of China, and a great grandmaster hasn't appeared in millennia. You could say, a grandmaster is already the highest level in this world. And I just said Zhao Lin is a grandmaster. A 24-year-old young man, utterly shocking. Meizu muttered to herself. No wonder. No wonder. No wonder when she tried to sense Zhao Lin's cultivation, she could only detect a first-rate aura. Turns out she was hiding her true cultivation level well. Now I understand. And seeing this scene, a slight smile appeared in my eyes too. When Zhao Lin first appeared, he was already at the peak of early-stage grandmaster level. His strength was incredibly powerful. Of course, I never intended for Meizu, who was only at early innate level, to defeat him. My goal lies elsewhere. To slow down Zhao Lin's cheat-like rate of improvement. The great strategist Shen'er listened to the report. You're saying Zhao Lin refuses to go out? What's going on with this new security guard? Wasn't he still cooperative just yesterday? How did things escalate so quickly today? Shen Wanner's expression darkened. Director Shen, look quickly. The protesters have broken through the barrier and rushed in. Judging by the situation, they'll be reaching the upper floors of the company any minute now. Director Shen, what should we do? Shen Wanner shook her head. It's come to this point. Zhongqin, we're going down. Zhongqin was stunned. Director Shen, you're going down. Shen'er shook her head. It's fine. If everything goes smoothly, the company can return to normal by tomorrow. Zhongqin didn't understand much, but he trusted his boss. Inside the security office, the smiling face no longer had the heart to deal with the noise outside. And just at that moment, everyone, please listen to me. I am Shenma. There's been a bit of an issue with the company, so it caused some negative effects, which gave some evildoers a chance to stir things up. But it's okay. Everyone, please believe me. By the end of this month at the latest, the company will return to normal operations. And the wages we owe you will also be paid back. A voice came from outside, making Zhao Lin's heart stir. That voice belongs to Director Shen. A strange look appeared on Zhao Lin's face. He saw the smiling face walk out from the security room, and at that moment, seeing things were about to settle down, Meizu frowned slightly. Jiu Heoken still won't let me act. I shook my head. You will act, but not now. Wait until tonight. Then you'll get your chance. But for now, letting you observe Zhao Lin's strength isn't a bad idea. As I said this, I slightly turned my gaze. Let your shadow puppets attack Shen'er. Meizu's expression didn't change, but her heart gave a sudden jolt. I actually do know about her abilities. Meizu suppressed her inner shock and asked in confusion, attack Shen'er? But aren't you? She hadn't finished her sentence when cold sweat broke out all over her body. She saw me looking at her with a calm, indifferent gaze, yet it made her feel overwhelming fear and panic. I once again put on a smiling face. Don't insult me, Miss Mei. I'm all about pure love. Meizu activated her ability. In the next second, several people with strange expressions moved simultaneously. Who would believe that kind of crap? Go to hell. Shen Wanner's face paled. Am I going to die? Why did so many thoughts flash through her mind all of a sudden? She thought of her family and friends, and even of me. In the end, the image froze on a back figure goodbye. WORLD, but the next second get lost. A figure suddenly appeared. A spring-loaded dagger fell to the ground. Zhao Lin swiftly threw a punch, knocking down all the Shada-looking people from the beginning. All of them collapsed to the ground. Shen'er's eyes widened, in disbelief, staring at the sudden savior. Zhao Lin quickly turned around. Director Shen, are you okay? Shenner gratefully looked at the man before her. Thank you, she said. Zhao Lin laughed. No need to thank me. As long as you're okay. If something like this happens again, I'll protect you too. Hearing that, Shenner couldn't help but think. This Zhao Lin is really strong. He must have trained in martial arts. It's such a waste for him to just be a security guard. Looks like I'll have to make him my personal bodyguard. Outside, Meizu looked serious. Grandmasters truly are powerful. That strike just now from Zhao Lin, he relied solely on his physical strength. Wu Wenyan chuckled lightly. Otherwise, how could he be called a grandmaster? Alright, there's nothing more for us here. Start preparing for tonight's operation. I'll tell you the details when the time comes. Consider this the first task I'm asking you to do. Looking at my slightly squinting, smiling face, Meizu felt curious. What does he want me to do tonight? Meizu asked with some confusion. What do you mean there's nothing more for us here? The next second, sirens rang out in the distance. Meizu froze, then looked up. She saw police cars quickly surrounding Qianye Pharmaceutical Company. Meizu was stunned, then looked at me. She saw me nod slightly. Only then did Meizu withdraw her dazed gaze. She continued watching the company entrance. Come on, bro. This is supposed to be a contest between martial artists. Why would you call the cops? I looked at Meizu. Cancel your ability. Inside the company, Shen Wanner clearly hadn't expected that the police would actually come. Although Zhao Lin was a little confused, he didn't think much of it. The police are here. Perfect timing. They can arrest those thugs with knives. Moments later, several officers approached Scarface and the others and had them kneel down. They started checking their injuries. Chun Yan began gathering information from Shen Wanner and the others. So that's what happened? Chun Yan frowned. She looked over at Zhao Lin, who was distracted and standing off to the side. Her tone was a bit odd. You said your name is Zhao Lin? Why does this guy's name match exactly with the one we're supposed to arrest? Yes, that's right. Why, officer? A panicked voice suddenly shouted from the side. Sister Chun, bad news. Those people, they're all dead. Chun Yan's heart skipped a beat. She quickly turned to look when she saw the unnatural state of the people lying on the ground. She hurried forward in alarm. Shen Wanner heard that people had died, and her face turned pale. She instinctively looked at Zhao Lin. He quickly explained. How could that be? I may have fought them, but I never aimed for any vital points. At most they should be lying in a hospital bed for a few days. But this explanation backfired. It only confirmed that Zhao Lin was the one who did it. Chun Yan gave the order, arrest him. Zhao Lin kept explaining, hey. Wait, I really didn't kill them. Chun Yan replied coldly. Save your explanations for when you're behind bars. Outside, seeing Zhao Lin being taken away in a police car, I finally revealed a satisfied smile. 8 p.m., in front of the Leng residence, I reminded Meizu as I walked away. Then I slowly hummed a tune and left. Meizu turned her head to look at my back. Her gaze filled with complexity. She knew she should report what she was doing to her master. But for the sake of her younger brother, sorry, master. Inside the Leng family study, a man with upright hair stood behind Lang Qingku. He spoke respectfully, reporting, Master. After days of investigation, we've found 5 organizations in Jianghai City related to the incident back then. They are Dragon King Hall, Death God, Yama Hall, Peach Blossom Society, and Zhuan Wu Sect. The Dragon King Hall is currently hidden in Jianghai, but their young master operates in the open. The only remaining Death God member was recently killed by Meizu. Peach Blossom Society and Zhuan Wu Sect have both suffered revenge attacks over the years and are now in a miserable state. Only a few low-level members remain, hiding out in Jianghai City. Apparently, they're looking for some successor. The only one we really need to watch is Yama Hall. After years of operating in Jianghai City, they've built up a considerable force there. Lang Qingku listened to the report from his subordinate, his doubts gradually turning into concern. He hadn't expected Jianghai City to be tied to the 5 major forces from back then. Lang Qingku fell into deep thought. The young master of the Dragon King Hall has already been tested by Meizu. If his strength is average, then killing a young master first wouldn't be a bad move. If he's very powerful, then set him aside for now. Temporarily, we'll first search for the remnants of Peach Blossom and Zhuan Wu, and eliminate them one by one. Just as Lang Qingku was about to speak, her expression suddenly changed. She shouted toward Zhun Zilin. Zhun Zilin was startled. What? But I haven't finished my report yet. Lang Qingku's face turned terrifyingly cold. Get out now. His figure turned into a butterfly and flew out the window. Right after Zhun Zilin left. Just a few seconds later, my sickeningly sweet voice came echoing in. Zhao Qingqing, I'm here. Lang Qingku stepped aside in advance and said, Please stop calling me Zhao Qingqing. Lang Qingku seemed to think of something. So, how's your friend's mom doing after your visit? Only remember to come here after you finish seeing her. I was a bit embarrassed. Qingku, trust me, there's nothing between me and my friend. I'm just a kind-hearted. I can't bear to see others suffer like that. Hearing that, Lang Qingku flung my hand away. I never said there's something between you and your friend. Why are you explaining so frantically? I pulled her hand back again. Qingku. Don't say that. My friend was hospitalized this morning too. How could I not stay there? But it's fine now. I arranged his hospital admission, and also paid for his treatment. I've done my part with kindness. After that, it's none of my business. Hearing that, Lang Qingku was finally satisfied. Really, I thought Miss Wang was going to offer herself to you for treating her so well. What offer herself? Qingku, don't say nonsense like that. Even if all the women in the world threw themselves at me, my heart would still only have you in it. So, you're saying you've imagined all the women in the world throwing themselves at you? 8 p.m. I switched to the interface in my mind to start tracking Meizu. Inside a tea restaurant in Jianhai City called Night. Waitresses dressed in maid outfits were bustling between the tables. Ding-ling, the front door was pushed open. I walked into the tea restaurant called Night. At first glance, it looked like an ordinary tea restaurant, but the aura radiating inside just like Mei. The same aura as Meizu and the others. It made the corners of my mouth curl up. Hey, I didn't expect it. So this is the original base of the Night organization from the novel. Hey handsome, I haven't seen you before. Is this your first time here? Bai Lian saw I didn't respond, thinking I was captivated by her looks. Enchanted, even, but I only glanced at her briefly, and then walked straight toward an empty seat. Being ignored, Bai Lian slowly raised a confused eyebrow. Her expression faltered a little. Ignoring me. Hey, playing hard to get, are we? Rich men sure know how to play. Bai Lian didn't believe her naturally seductive body could be resisted by any man. She put on a smile again and walked over to me. Hey handsome, why didn't you talk to me just now? Bai Lian bent down on purpose, but I simply glanced at her and said, You're just pouring water, why all the extra movement? Bai Lian forced a smile. Don't be mad, don't be mad. I was just trying to serve you quickly, that's all. Drink up, you jerk. Bai Lian smiled pleasantly. After pouring the water, she tried to leave. The next second, I suddenly called out, Wait a second. Bai Lian froze for a moment. You dog of a man. You finally couldn't resist, huh? What is it, handsome? I pointed at a plate of fried rice on the menu and said, I'll have this one. Bai Lian's smile stiffened a little. Alright, please wait just a moment. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, I'm so pissed off. That damn man. Meizu, while washing dishes, asked, What's wrong? Who pissed you off? Bai Lian got even angrier hearing that. A guy came in, and she wasn't even the slightest bit affected by my charm. Her attitude was so infuriating. After finishing the dishes, Meizu looked at her and asked, You're not going back out? She shook her head. Nope. If that man can resist my charm, then I don't want to see such an unromantic guy again. Mixu nodded. Then you'll assist in the kitchen. I'll go outside. Mixu wiped her hands at the counter. Fried rice for table 11 is ready. Mixu, go deliver it. Okay. Mixu walked toward table 11. But just as she took 2 steps, her heart suddenly skipped a beat. It was as if she sensed something. She calmly walked over and placed the fried rice on the table. The corners of my mouth lifted in slight surprise. Doing this kind of thing here. This Chinkuno. Miksu's expression changed slightly. Earlier, when I had her meet at the Lang residence gate, she had already sensed it. Now this just confirms her suspicion. Jiu Heioka knows our master's true identity, Miksu said softly. Why are you here? I smiled lightly. Don't be so nervous. What if the others here notice? How about this? Pretend I'm a friend from the secular world, you know. How about it? I'll also take this chance to tell you the updated plan for tonight. All in one go. Miksu sat down across from me. The manager frowned slightly at the sight. Miksu's friend. And a guy. No wonder he has the master's aura. Miksu's tone carried a hint of urgency. So, what are you going to say? Finish it and leave quickly. I took a bite of the fried rice. No rush. I'll talk while I eat. I didn't even get a chance to eat breakfast. The plan has changed a bit. Meet directly in front of the police station at 8 p.m. Here's the plan, because Zhao Lin was arrested. But his identity is that of a dancer. And also the young master of Dragon King Hall, so naturally someone will bail him out. This morning, you removed the control of the shadow slaves, so all those people turned into corpses. This kind of price or tactic, the inflation was just to disgust Zhao Ling a little. It couldn't actually affect him. But at the very least, it could delay the collapse happening outside. We just need to stall until nightfall to act. After all, I looked at Miksu with a smile. Only at night. Can you unleash your full power? Miksu frowned slightly. The feeling of having all your secrets known. It's really unpleasant. I continued speaking. What you need to do isn't even that dangerous. No deadly battles to the end. In fact, you don't even need to find out the opponent's full strength. What you need to do is the first thing I asked of you. And that is, bring me one thing from Zhao Lin's body. Or rather, you just need to get him to reveal that item. Upon hearing that, Miksu already had a general idea in her mind. What item? I pointed to the half-jade pendant hanging from my neck. The same one Zhao Lin always wears, but he usually keeps it hidden under his clothes. So it's never seen. Miksu looked puzzled and curious. A half-jade pendant? Only that. I smiled gently. Only that. Don't think about going head-to-head with Zhao Lin. He's not someone you can handle right now. Even the night version of you won't be enough. You must understand this isn't just a gap in cultivation. It's also a gap in destiny. Miksu replied defiantly. My power at night can rival even the Eastern Division. Even if I can't defeat Zhao Lin, I can at least force him to use his full strength. It can't be as bad as you make it sound. I chuckled after hearing that, then stood up and walked to the cashier. That'll be 6 yuan. The middle-aged man at the counter gave a professional smile. After paying, I waved at Miksu. Goodbye, Miss Mei. Jianghai City Police Station. Zhao Lin sat at the interrogation table. Sitting across from him was Chen Yinyan, looking stern. Name, Zhao Lin. Age, 24. Gender, can't you tell that yourself? Asterisk smack. Asterisk. Chen Yinyan angrily slammed the table. I'm the one asking questions now. Zhao Lin looked helpless and on the verge of tears. Chen Yinyan said coldly, this morning, were you at Yulin Complex, and did you injure someone named Wang Yulin? Zhao Lin was stunned. Wang Yulin, thinking about the situation, he realized a possibility. As he said it, he clenched his fists tightly. Yulanji called the police, but I was just trying to help her. Get away from that bad guy. Zhao Lin looked up and explained, but I didn't mean to. I didn't intend to hit Yulan. I just... Before he could finish, Chen Yinyan's gaze was filled with cold intensity. Enough? Do you know that one punch of yours nearly killed her? If someone hadn't taken her to the hospital in time, she might have died. Hearing that, Zhao Lin's face turned pale. His mind went completely blank. How could this happen? I clearly held back my strength, seeing Zhao Lin still confused. Chen Yinyan tried to restrain her anger. Held back. Let me give you an example. A boxer throwing a pulled punch. And a regular person doing the same. Do you think it's the same? According to the doctor's diagnosis, if Wang Yulan had been taken to the hospital any later, She might have died because of your punch. Hearing this, Zhao Lin was completely speechless. As for the dead bodies at Tianye Pharmaceuticals today, do you know who they were? No. I just saw them trying to attack the shop. That's why I stepped in. Chen Yanyan shook her head. Now they're all beyond saving. Do you understand the consequences of what you did? 5 families in total lost their loved ones because of this. Zhao Lin kept listening. The guilt in his heart grew stronger. For the first time, he felt lost about his own strength. Could it be that he really killed those people? Even though he believed he held back. People have different physical constitutions. Zhao Lin closed his eyes. His voice choked up. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to do that. Chen Yanyan let out a gentle sigh. Only 24 years old, and already committed multiple major crimes. Not long ago, he had just come to Jianghai looking for work. What a pity. The dot under a big tree outside the police station. I nervously asked Mixu, Chinku. Did she eat properly? The latter was silent for a while, then nodded. That made me let out a breath of relief, but I also felt a strange sensation in my heart. Does this guy really like my master? No, he's just really good at acting. I smiled lightly. Return to normal. All right, then. You know the plan, right? When you get inside, I'll have someone shut down all the power. You'll begin the operation at that moment. Is that okay? Mixu nodded. Got it. All I need to do is get, or make him reveal that half-jade pendant, right? Exactly. Mixu thought this wouldn't be difficult at all, just as she was about to act. I pulled out an earpiece from who knows where and handed it to her. Wear this. I'll give you directions for certain details when the time comes. After putting on the earpiece, Mixu's figure instantly faded into nothingness. After seeing her leave, I smiled slightly. A strange glint appeared in my eyes. Let's begin then. The biggest opportunity in disrupting fate is that half-jade pendant that matches Miss Bai of the Bai family. Inside the duty room, Sister Chun said, Then I'll be leaving now. Asterisk clack asterisk the door shut. The entire police station was left with only Chen Yanyan. At that moment, asterisk click asterisk, the door was gently pushed open. Chen Yanyan instinctively asked, Did you forget something? But when she saw who entered, she froze in surprise. Long time no see, Sister Yanyan. I closed the door, waving with a smile on my face. Chen Yanyan looked confused. Jiu Heoken? What are you doing here? I looked at Chen Yanyan with a smile. Didn't I report something this morning? I just wanted to check if that person was caught. So I called Uncle Chen to ask. And he said Yanyanji was here. So I thought, it's been a while. I'd stop by and see how you're doing. I see why you came, but as you can see, I'm very busy. If there's nothing important, please leave. Chen Yanyan waved dismissively, clearly showing her annoyance. Seeing this reaction, I smiled internally. Yep. Yuan Shuzhan developed the same way. Zhao Lin was mistakenly arrested as a murderer. In the original story, Zhao Lin did meet the criteria for conviction, but unfortunately, someone will bail him out by the end of the night. And Chen Yanyan, because of this, ended up arguing fiercely with her father. From then on, she began her journey to get Zhao Lin thrown in jail. And the story progressed into something cliché yet familiar. After multiple encounters with Zhao Lin, Chen Yanyan began to notice his good traits, and in repeated life-or-death battles, she started to develop feelings for him. Eventually, she became part of the protagonist's circle. Once these people grow stronger, they'll all become major threats. So satisfied? Of course I am. Well, I'll be going then. But Sister Yanyan, I heard that Zhao Lin has quite an impressive background. What if someone bails him out? Hearing this, Chen Yanyan's face turned displeased. Impossible. Any case I handle, there's no such thing as someone getting bailed out. Then I'd really like to see how powerful his background is, enough to bail a murderer out from my hands. I smiled softly. Then I'm relieved. Because my friend is still in the hospital, and I'm worried that once Zhao Lin is released, he might do something irrational to my friend. Chen Yanyan looked at me with some displeasure. Why are you telling me all this? Do you have some kind of grudge against Zhao Lin? I don't even know him, but he almost killed me. Chen Yanyan was stunned. He almost killed you? What happened? I sighed and pointed to my face. I was picking up my friend, who's now in the hospital, to take her to work. Zhao Lin saw me and charged at me with a clenched fist, aiming straight for my head. If my friend hadn't blocked it from me, I probably wouldn't be standing here talking to you now. Chun Yanyan inhaled sharply. Jiyu Heoken is the eldest young master of the Jiyu family group, and their only son. His status is special. It wouldn't be surprising if someone tried to assassinate him. Chun Yanyan comforted me. You don't need to keep worrying. Zhao Lin has committed attempted murder. It's more than just a prison sentence, even though Jiyu Heoken has a bad reputation. In the end, he was the one always trailing behind me as a kid, calling me big sis, so he can't completely treat me coldly either. Just then, an unexpected event occurred. All the lights went out. The surroundings instantly fell into darkness. What's going on? Chun Yanyan suddenly stood up. Her expression changed drastically. This is bad. She walked quickly out of the duty room. Stay here. Do not come out. I waved my hand, a dangerous smile forming on my lips. Sister Yanyan, be careful. Too bad Chun Yanyan couldn't see it. Inside the cell, Zhao Lin was still lost in self-doubt. Suddenly, a chill surged through his heart. The next second, an attack came charging at him from the darkness. It came at him fiercely. The attack grazed his cheek, leaving behind a chilling sensation. Zhao Lin looked around cautiously. What's going on? Who is it? Could it be a dancer? Zhao Lin felt something was off. Why would a dancer show up here? And why am I the target? Up on the ceiling, Mixu was hanging upside down, looking down below. Her power increases significantly in the dark, to an extreme level. Even noble clans can't sense her presence. It's truly the perfect power for killing. She slightly opened her palm, and a black dagger formed within it. Although I only asked her to obtain the jade pendant from Zhao Lin, judging from the earlier attempt, she might actually be able to kill Zhao Lin. If she slays the Dragon King's heir, surely the master will start seeing him in a new light. In the next moment, she gripped the dagger tightly, and her body shot downwards with force. Zhao Lin was still on high alert, when suddenly a feeling surged in his heart. A sense honed through years of fighting monsters. Without any hesitation, Zhao Lin dove forward. A loud crash erupted where he had just been. But quickly, the shadowy figure flashed like a ghost. Gone in an instant, Zhao Lin's training allowed him to react swiftly. He focused and scanned the area. It really is a dancer, and one with a power he hasn't seen before. He knew this wasn't a random attack. He was brought in here. The lights were turned off. The room went dark. This was a premeditated strike. This was an assassination, a carefully planned operation. Who are you? Why are you trying to kill me? Mixu's figure appeared like a ghost, suddenly emerging behind Zhao Lin. She fiercely stabbed toward the back of Zhao Lin's head successfully. However, Zhao Lin seemed to sense it and dodged the fatal blow. What? Mixu's eyes widened in shock. Before she had a chance to shift into shadow form, asterisk bang, asterisk Zhao Lin's fist suddenly slammed backward, asterisk feft asterisk. His punch struck Mixu square in the abdomen. The latter coughed up a mouthful of blood. Zhao Lin looked around at the darkness once more. I don't know who you are, or why you want to kill me, but I won't go down without a fight. Mixu gritted her teeth. So this is a grandmaster. Even without detecting my presence, she can still strike me by instinct alone. Just then, a voice came through Mixu's earpiece. Cold and mocking. Idiot, I told you not to go head-to-head with him. Now follow the plan. Even if it breaks your body, force him to reveal that half-jade pendant. Otherwise, forget about ever seeing your brother again. I watched from the duty room expressionlessly, monitoring the cell through the surveillance feed. Mixu's eyes were filled with unwillingness. The scent of blood was suppressed. Zhao Lin frowned. The next second, it happened again. A sharp blade flashed from the darkness. Zhao Lin's body shifted slightly, and golden light surged from his body. The same move again? You think I'll fall for it twice? A crisp clang rang out, followed by a muffled grunt. The blade grazed Zhao Lin's face. Mixu was sent flying into a corner. Zhao Lin turned his head slightly, and in the next moment, the blade suddenly changed direction, thrusting toward Zhao Lin's neck. The Grandmaster's protective energy was instantly shattered. Zhao Lin's expression changed. He swiftly dodged to the side. ****. A jade pendant popped out from around his neck. Zhao Lin was filled with lingering fear, so the target was my neck. This kind of attack. It actually broke through his Grandmaster level protection. Could the opponent also be a Grandmaster? Inside the surveillance room, when I saw that half-jade pendant, I picked up my phone and calmly took action. The next second, all the lights turned on. Zhao Lin was momentarily blinded by the sudden light. He instinctively shut his eyes. Suddenly, a figure appeared beside Zhao Lin. He reached out and struck toward Zhao Lin's chest. Zhao Lin quickly shielded his chest. But the attack suddenly shifted direction. Instead, it aimed for the jade pendant around Zhao Lin's neck. The black-clothed man grabbed the pendant and threw it toward a corner. Zhao Lin's eyes were filled with panic. He immediately ran in the direction the pendant was thrown. But Meizu was already there waiting. The moment he got the pendant, he vanished into the darkness. Zhao Lin couldn't find his pendant. He turned back to look at the black-clothed man. The blood-splattered figure had vanished. Zhao Lin instantly erupted in anger. He punched the tiled floor. Damn it, Chen Yanyan looked at the suddenly powered lights. A sense of unease rose in her heart. She cautiously headed toward the holding cell where Zhao Lin was kept. Detention room. Just now, she heard a loud noise coming from inside the cell. Chen Yanyan leaned against the wall, gripping her pistol tightly. She took a deep breath and rushed forward. Don't move. But the scene in front of her stunned her. Zhao Lin's eyes were bloodshot. One fist slammed into the cement ground. Chen Yanyan asked cautiously, "What happened here?" Upon hearing the voice, Zhao Lin looked up. His gaze filled with killing intent stared at Chen Yanyan. His arm began to emit a glowing light. Seeing the transformation in Zhao Lin's arm, Chen Yanyan's heart sank. Chen Yanyan shouted, "Zhao Lin, what are you trying to do? Do you want to make this situation worse?" Zhao Lin stared at Chen Yanyan. Images of the Dragon King flashed through his mind, and the teachings from the masters on the mountain. Zhao Lin, your power isn't meant to kill, but to protect others. Take this half-dragon-shaped jade pendant from your chest. Go to the Bai family and retrieve the other half. When both pendants are joined together, you'll be able to lead all members of the Dragon King Hall. In an instant, Zhao Lin closed his eyes. The glow on his hand slowly faded. Zhao Lin felt frustrated. Why was he arguing with someone from the mundane world? Seeing Zhao Lin calm down, Chen Yanyan felt cold sweat on her back. She recalled my words. This man had a powerful background, not an ordinary one. A worried voice came from outside the door. "Yanyanji, are you okay?" Zhao Lin suddenly raised his head, staring fiercely at the source of that voice at the door. Zhao Lin growled, shouting, "Jiyu Heoken." He couldn't believe he would run into me here. Chen Yanyan stepped in front of me. "Zhao Lin, what are you trying to do? It's already over." Chen Yanyan remembered what I had said earlier, that Zhao Lin wanted to kill me. She wasn't fully convinced at first, but seeing the situation now, she had no choice but to believe it. I pretended to be terrified, shrinking behind Chen Yanyan, and said, "Brother Zhao Lin, I have no grudge against you. Why do you want to kill me so badly? Is it just because you couldn't stand me picking up Sister Yulan?" Zhao Lin looked at my fearful, panicked face. Although he felt a sense of satisfaction, it still couldn't calm the rage burning inside him. "Shut up," he roared in fury. "You tricked Qian Yulan into getting hurt and caused a huge misunderstanding. You're nothing but a bastard. A guy like you staying by Yulan's side must have an ulterior motive." Chen Yanyan frowned slightly upon hearing that. She originally thought something major had happened that made Zhao Lin want to kill me. But now, it just seemed like a petty jealousy fight. For a moment, she completely lost all sympathy for Zhao Lin. Trying to kill someone over something like this. People like you truly deserve to die. Hearing that, I looked at Zhao Lin without fear. Yes, I have a motive. My motive is to share the burden with Sister Yulan. Do you know her mother is lying in the hospital? The medical expenses every day are astronomical. Do you know that? Sister Yulan is working for jobs a day. Do you know that? You know nothing. All you know is using your fists to kill and hurt people. What else can you even do? Sister Yulan's mother was my teacher. That's why I helped Sister Yulan. And you, besides putting her in the hospital, what else have you done for her? I looked at Zhao Lin with a mocking expression. People should be grateful. I'm grateful to Sister Yulan's mother who helped me, so I help her daughter in return. But you, Sister Yulan, gave you a place to stay. And you repaid her kindness with betrayal. You even hurt her. Did you even visit her in the hospital? I'm the one who paid the bills. What have you done? Oh, right. I looked at Zhao Lin in disappointment. I heard you killed a few more people recently, destroying their families. Zhao Lin roared. Jiu Heoken, shut up. Chen Yanyan looked at the trembling Zhao Lin. She grabbed me, trying to stop me from saying more. She feared I might say something that would push him over the edge. Me. I sighed. Even in the hospital, Sister Yulan told me not to hate you. She said you were a good person, that you had helped her before. But before she said that, I had already called the police. I was planning to withdraw the report, but I didn't expect you would do what you did. Qianye Pharmaceuticals. Zhao Lin, you've completely disappointed both me and Sister Yulan. As soon as I finished, Zhao Lin's mind went completely blank. The anger in his heart was drowned by endless regret. With a thud, he fell to his knees. His eyes were blank. Zhao Lin slammed both fists hard onto the ground. Blood started oozing from them continuously. He sobbed and cried. Seeing this, Chen Yanyan closed her eyes and sighed. Be a good person in your next life. What no one noticed was that my once angry expression had slowly faded away at this moment, replaced by a rather sinister and malicious smirk. Outside the police station, Chen Yanyan gave me a somewhat reproachful look. I told you to wait in the duty room, didn't I? What if there was danger? I smiled awkwardly and said, but you're my sister. I was afraid something might happen to you too. Chen Yanyan was touched, and her affection for me returned. Seems like the rumors outside were really just rumors. The little brother she had watched grow up while mischievous was still kind at heart. Chen Yanyan smiled slightly. Got it. It's late, you should head back now. I nodded and said, okay. Yanyanji, you take care too. A short while later, after I got in the car and left, Chen Yanyan finally felt at ease and went back into the police station. Inside the moving car, Meizu clutched her wound, and during the sharp pain, opened her hand and said, this is what you wanted. She revealed half of the dragon-shaped jade pendant. Seeing that, a smile crept onto the corner of my lips. I took it in my hand, and suddenly I felt my energy and spirit start to surge. Rise. Streams of pure energy flowed out from within my body. Very good, a golden light flashed in my eyes. This half pendant is called the Dragon King Jade. It's said that whoever possesses the complete Dragon King Jade can lead the entire Dragon King Hall. Half of it is in the hands of the Dragon King Hall's master, and the other half is kept by the Bai family. I recalled the storyline from the original novel. According to the plot, Zhao Lin would be bailed out by the Bai family the next day, and introduced to their eldest daughter, Bai Kainlin. The first goal was to let the two of them meet, and ideally, form a good match. Secondly, according to the rules, if Zhao Lin wants to obtain the other half of the jade pendant, he must get permission from the one who holds it. And now, the other half of the jade pendant just happens to be in the hands of Bai Kainlin, the eldest daughter of the Bai family. I fiddled with the jade pendant in my hand, a trace of ambition in my eyes. The Dragon King Hall doesn't recognize people, only the pendant. When the two half pendants combine to form a complete one, the Dragon King Hall will acknowledge its master. Isn't this also a way to steal the protagonist's destined opportunity? The Dragon King Jade brings Zhao Lin far too many advantages. I have to get it no matter what. Thinking of this, I smiled at Lao Gao and said, Lao Gao, what do you think of Zhao Lin's strength? Lao Gao replied seriously, he's very strong. This young man is stronger than me. His tone grew heavy. Young master, do you know that ever since I arranged for him to come and snatch the jade pendant, I've had a hunch. It seems our young master knows quite a lot. I countered with a question. As the richest young master in Jianghai, how could I not know? Lao Gao laughed and said, Young master, you're right. But young master, you better check on that girl who coughed up blood. She doesn't seem like she'd make it. I glanced at Meizu, who was breathing weakly beside me, and helplessly shook my head. Meizu endured the pain and said, "Go to the tea restaurant." Shortly after that, the car reached a deserted street and slowly came to a stop. I pouted my lips. "Get out. You can crawl the rest of the way if you have to." I really didn't want to expose my real relationship with Meizu just yet, nor did I dare gamble on whether the others in the organization would keep my secret. With clenched teeth, Meizu gently opened the car door. She got out of the car with difficulty. I said indifferently, "Consider the first task completed." As soon as I said that, before Meizu could reply, the car drove off. Meizu looked at the departing car and shook her head. Trying to stay conscious, she muttered, "For more tasks left. Little brother, wait for me. Big sister will definitely find you." On the way back, I tossed the jade pendant into the system's storage space. This was the safest and most secure method. This system space was a feature I only recently discovered. It's infinitely large and can store anything. Now that I've acquired half of the Dragon King jade, as for the other half, it'll have to wait a bit. Because if nothing goes wrong, Zhao Lin will be bailed out tomorrow morning and brought to the Bai family. At that point, I definitely can't show up recklessly. However, I suddenly remembered something interesting. In the original novel, the Bai family didn't even know who Zhao Lin was. They only recognized the Dragon King jade. As for why they came to save Zhao Lin, it was all because of a letter sent by the Dragon King Hall's leader. A long time ago, he had mailed a letter to the Bai family. In the letter, it said that he had his eyes on a young man named Zhao Lin, and that he would be coming to Jianghai soon. Because of that letter, the Bai family patriarch believed that Zhao Lin was the future master of Dragon King Hall. Especially after seeing that Zhao Lin had half of the Dragon King jade, he became even more convinced. That's why they went to rescue him. But now, the Dragon King jade that was on Zhao Lin has already been taken by me. I wonder how the plot will unfold next. Hey just thinking about it makes me excited. A slight smile formed on my lips. At that moment, my phone began to vibrate. After picking up, a girl's voice came from the other end. "Jiyu Heioken." "It's me, Shenma." Shen Jiaoshan sat on the edge of the bed, looking exhausted. A security guard from her company had killed several people. The impact of this incident was far too serious. It caused unnecessary panic among employees, who had already placed their confidence in him. In all the chaos, there was nothing he could do. Right now, he just wanted to resolve the issue of the company's bankruptcy as soon as possible. I thought to myself, finally, she called. I couldn't help but smile. Miss Shen reaching out to me. It almost seemed intentional. I asked, "Why didn't you call me using your old number?" Shen's voice sounded a little down. "Jiyu Heioken, do you really have to be like this?" In the past, whenever we spoke, her tone and expression were always superior. But now, her voice was incredibly soft and fragile. All right, let's talk business then. I thought for a moment, settle it before noon, and bring some sincerity with you. Shenner sighed, "Got it." I hung up the call and told Lao Gao, "Tomorrow, have Annie buy some groceries for me, and also take some over to Linger." Lao Gao, "It's been a while since I cooked for Chinku. Let's wrap up things with Shen Warner early tomorrow. And then head to the Lang family by noon to cook a meal for our Chinku." Feels good just thinking about it. Lao Gao focused on driving. But after hearing that, he hesitated to speak. He had heard Shenner's voice on the phone. It seemed she planned to visit the Jiyu family tomorrow. Lao Gao thought to himself, could the young master be slipping back into his Shenner simp personality again? But he just shook his head. Forget it. I'm just the young master's bodyguard. No need to overthink it. In a hidden underground space beneath the night organization's tea restaurant. Useless. To think you were so badly injured by a mere young dancer. If the master had sent me instead. That so-called young master of the Dragon King Hall would have long been manipulated into suicide. Bai Lian sneered while looking at the now bandaged wounds. Meizu lay silently on the hospital bed. She remained quiet. Bai Lian taunted, "What's wrong? Did my words hit a sore spot, so now you're speechless?" Yet Meizu still didn't respond. Seeing that, Bai Lian dropped her smirk and pouted. Fine, Don't speak then. If I hadn't sensed your presence and saved you, you'd be dead by now. Upon hearing this, Meizu finally stirred. She turned her head, looked at Bai Lian with a blank expression and said, "Thank you." Bai Lian. Clearly, Bai Lian didn't expect this woman to say thanks. She suddenly felt awkward. You know how to say thank you. Well, whatever. I'm not one to dwell on it, but if the master had sent you instead, you probably wouldn't have even crawled back alive. Bai Lian's expression instantly turned sour. Hey, I really do hate you, woman. Just then, the shopkeeper walked over. He sighed. Enough. Stop arguing. The young master of Dragon King Hall is a grandmaster-level fighter. We truly didn't expect that. This matter has already been reported to the master. As for Meizu, the shopkeeper paused. The master said to come see him tomorrow. He will help you recover your injuries. Meizu felt a mix of gratitude and guilt. Bai Lian muttered, she completely botched the mission and still managed to win the master's favor. I really don't get it.